Hey guys, this is Coach Joe coming at you from inside the Holy Cronut, and today I'm sharing the Week 10 CWL Light recap of the 3-6 Violent Wizards taking on the 8-1 Meet the Kings. VW managed to pull this one out in a 67-67 tiebreaker victory. The score was low due to a glitch on base number 9, which I'll share in a few moments. With this victory, Violent Wizards keeps their playoff hopes alive. They are tied at the top of the Poison Division, but Crazy Monkey has the head-to-head tiebreaker. It'll all come down to the final week. Since the balancing update dropped during the bye week, this was the first CWL weekend since the new spell levels were added and surgical loons were nerfed. You could see how uncomfortable both sides were, and I actually failed an 11v10 dip, getting a 99% double on base 3 with hogs. Sad. But we got the W, and that's what matters. Alright, so before I show you the base 9 glitch, I'd like to introduce my special guest joining me for this recap, John, aka Logjammin', leader of the Holy Cronut. What's going on, John?
Hey, Joe, Cronuts and future Cronuts. Yeah, we're going to see something that looks pretty weird. Supercell on this base basically said, "Thanks for reporting, Chief." A CWL mod came in and just said, it is what it is. Nobody hit 9. We took it completely out, which
there
sucks.
It is. Just
sucks.
black.
Star percentage. But
that's what we were calling the anti-Town Hall 11 1-star base. Just no way to score on it. So, and as you can see, we did not attack their base 9. All right, so this is the first base on our recap. This was a hit by Cuven, which is one of the THC guys on loan to our sister clan, Violent Wizards.
Yeah, shout out to Violent Wizards for having us in the CWL. It's been really fun, and let's take home next week.
Right, it's been really fun. So this was not a fresh hit. This was the second hit on this base, and we have to give props to Cuven on this hit. He really utilized the first hit as a scout and really capitalized on the information he got out of this base. He uses a stoned go boho attack, and he hits it from a spot you wouldn't expect, right? You wouldn't expect him to hit it where he does.
Right. Yeah, and to talk about Town Hall 9, like Town Hall 9 is incredibly important to our efforts. You do not get a Town Hall 10 triple without a Town Hall 9 scout generally. So getting these down in 1 or 2 hits is really important, and that goes into building on an attack instead of completely rewriting, recognizing where those Teslas, traps, everything else are, and Kevin really did that. So.
Right. So southwest side of the base, we've got 3 wizard towers down there, both expos, and so let's watch what he does to take care of that.
And again, I think, Joe, you and I know that this is kind of the old style base. All the ADs are clustered to the right side, wizard towers and archer towers to the left side. And what do you know? There are those Teslas. So,
right.
Yeah, loons are definitely not dead, but they're not as powerful as they used to be, so you don't have to defend against them exclusively.
Well, as soon as people start defending against ground again, loon will come back. But for now, with the weaker first shot of the loons and all of these anti-air bases, use hogs. It's going to work really well. So look what he does here. Three golems on one side. He's already taken out all the Teslas.
Teslas.
Yeah. Two wizard towers are down.
2
First
archer
expo,
towers.
Second expo, archer queen, and yeah, his bowlers are all still alive. And so watch as he trickles in these hogs here along the bottom. He's dropped out 6 of them so far. Let's see. Okay, none of them have died. Okay, 1 died, and he still only lost 1.
Oh, the king's tanking.
And the king's tanking.
Bomb tower down.
And here, here's more hogs. I mean, he still.
Oh, there's still a golem.
Right, his heel is still in his pocket. Hasn't even needed to use it. And, okay, I'm going to poison the king now. And I guess I'll just use this heal on these 2.5 defenses in the king, because I have nowhere else to use it.
Yeah, now, remember to bring that back in hog for that last wizard tower.
Right, very smart, very smart. So, now if hogs weren't complete idiots, he would have had 10 survive. Instead, that whole clump of them just ignore the king, and so he kills a whole bunch of them, and he ends up with only 3 left. But I see this as a dominant hit, and it would have been much more dominant if those hogs hadn't been just idiots at the end there.
Yep, good hit, Kevin.
This is the second attack. This was a fresh hit by Vitor 2. And so this type of base, what I was thinking when I looked at it is, look at the Archer Queen. We've got Queen, we've got a Ground Expo, we've got cannon, bomb tower, mortar. I was thinking there's got to be something that's anti-air up there, right? There's got to be something, because if you were doing any kind of ground hit, you can use Baby Dragon or Minion Funnel and just get a ton of value because there's no anti-air up there.
Yeah, and you look at it, and it's really Town Hall 10 style base, but you don't have Infernos at Town Hall 9, and that's a huge difference.
Right.
And like we talked about earlier, look at the storages on this base,
right.
Because they generally protect something. So I think that there's 2 possible spots for Teslas, right? Like Joe was talking about, you'd think that they might be up north because you wouldn't want that entire area to be exposed. At the same time, you've got those 3 Elixir storages down by the king. They're probably not to just protect the king. That's not how it works. A golem would go all the way to the wall. They wouldn't matter. So there's probably something down there too.
Right. So as we'll see, no, there really wasn't any Teslas by the Archer Queen. They really were all down in the southeast. So I'm going to call it a ballsy strategy here. He starts off with some loons to take out the mortar and then spawn the clan castle. Remember, fresh hit, he doesn't know what's in there, and the Zapquake.
Zapquake, Vitor is reaching deep into his bag of tricks. And Vitor has been killing it for VW and the CWL, so shout out to Vitor.
All right, so it's a baby dragon and a witch, and that's all that spawns. So it's got to be like barbarians or something.
Oh, but what about use your poison, right?
Right, no poison. It's probably a Valk, actually, not barbarians. But right, didn't bring a poison, and he probably wasn't thinking that it would be a witch. But the nice thing is he was smart enough, pop his king early, get the barbarians out there, and they'll take care of the skeleton so the queen can finish off the witch.
Because if those barbarians weren't there, that queen could have had an issue. Just really bogged down and taken some time and possibly died.
Right, and as you'll see, he ends up with 10 seconds extra on this attack. Good thing the queen didn't get stuck, because she does some major cleanup work all throughout the attack.
Yeah, they're those Teslas that we talked about.
Yeah, quad Laloon, with the haste right there, the loons don't get stuck or hurt at all by the Teslas. He slows it down right here because all the air defenses are down. He still has 2 hounds.
Yeah, and you almost wish that those hounds were a little bit faster so that the queen could lock onto some of them. Sure. But goes ahead and puts that rage down and lets those.
And pups. More or less, he was using that rage on his pups so that they could take out the queen. Almost didn't get her.
Yeah, so now you look at this base. The loons are done, right? They're not going to die. But they're going to take a while to start cleaning trash. He's really glad that he has his queen alive down there at 6. But he's got huts. And in this kind of instance, I just think that it would have been wise to sub some archers for those for a loon.
Right.
Just to
5
make sure they go.
Or 1 archer and 2 minions, or whatever you're comfortable with. But
yeah,
there
4 archers a goblin. I don't care.
Right. There were corner huts though, so you got to watch out for those. And again, if that queen had gotten stuck on the witch, that's a fail because he only had 10 seconds left.
Right.
Last Town Hall 9 hit, and this is also a fresh triple by Schmenz. And so this base here, exactly what we were talking about in the last base. John, what do you think those 3 gold storages are doing at 130?
Oh, I think they're probably just hanging out there with that DE storage, protecting the king, right? Like he won't walk out from them.
Right.
Wrong.
Right. Yeah. So the Tesla locations are completely telegraphed by this base. You know exactly where they are. I mean, using storages to protect Teslas is really smart, and it works really well. but if you want to protect against a first hit triple and have a really good shot at that,
and you only need one. That's it.
Yeah, it's really nice just to defend once. You need to have maybe 2 of those spots. You know, the elixir storages are spread throughout the base. You know, clump them somewhere and make it look like they might be there too, because the uncertainty might screw people up, even if it doesn't actually screw with their attack. The uncertainty of the Teslas. I mean, he does this hit. He's pretty sure he knows where they are.
Right. So I think the other thing that you mentioned earlier while looking at this base is that kind of all roads point to the queen, right? If you're hitting between the 1-2 area.
Right. Hitting around 1 o'clock, because I mean, if you're going to get both heroes, and by the way, this is a stoned go boho attack again.
Fresh hit.
If you're going to try to get both heroes, you probably got to come in at either 10:30 or around 1 o'clock. And the nice thing about 1 o'clock is you're going to take out those Teslas because you know where they are. And if you use 2 jumps, you can. Everything is pointing right at the queen. Come in at 1 o'clock, jump, and you're going to get her. So, okay, he starts off this attack with a golem up at 12 o'clock with, 3 wizards?
Yeah, 3 wizards.
Very
camp.
Very easy funnel on that side.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there was anything out there to screw this up, but there just isn't. Oh, and there's the real kicker.
There. Yeah.
So if that was anything else, that golem would be toast right now. You would have to burn poisons, etc. At the very least, that golem is at half health, right?
Right. Witch, baby dragon, and a Valk, and you know the wizards are going to have a hard time, and yeah, it would have been great. Especially since the clan castle's right there near your Teslas. I mean, if you're going to go through all the trouble of protecting your Teslas with 3 gold storages and a dark elixir storage, and the clan castle's also going to be right there, put something in it that'll protect it from the wizards.
Yeah, that hurts. Yeah, right. We're not worried about the push. We're worried about the initial part. So the queen ends up walking, which isn't ideal, but Kill Squad still gets so much that it doesn't matter if it's hogs or loons back end. There's just a huge hole, and so he can kind of ring around the end with the one heal.
Look at how effective that is, and he holds the heal until after the bomb tower is destroyed. That really worked out for him. There was no chance of there being a giant bomb over there. It also heals right through that giant bomb. I mean, it's just a great fresh hit.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's just mortars and 1 Tesla, and the giant bomb goes off, only hits half his hogs. Doesn't matter, 1 Tesla hitting him. An entire golem, a golemite alive, both heroes.
Well, that's the funny thing too. Crushed. Even if that giant bomb had killed all of his hogs, those golems would have broken out, and they would have finished off a Tesla by themselves. And then it's just a race against the clock to see if the Archer Queen and the King can finish off the rest of the base. I think he had enough time; it would have worked out.
Yeah.
So now we get to our 10v11 doubles, and this was a war against a really good clan that we won. We didn't have any 10v10 triples, and we won based on percentage with a tie. And in my mind, there were obviously team effort, but there were 3 really, really big reasons why we won this war. Number 1, we hit base 2, 1-shot double. Number 2, we hit base 1, 1-shot double, high percentage. And number 3, our number 1, defended all day long. Fu Manchu ended up only getting 1-starred.
Shout out, Fu.
Right. So, I mean, that's the war right there. I mean, you win by percentage. You know, it's just great. So this was just a balls out attack, because on this type of base, there's 2 ways of going at it. You go for the more surefire, I'm going to get the Town Hall double 52% attack, or you go right at all the percentage and go for a nice high 64%.
Yeah, so generally I'm looking at where are the most buildings and how can I take them all out on the way to the Town Hall. So I think that the bigger gain, 2 stars, definitely from that side at about 430. The easier way would generally be to double jump into an IT and just nick the Town Hall that way. But you're really looking at being really close to 50%.
This style of attack or this style of base has had a lot of success recently because of the fact that we were just talking about that. It's just you have to pick one or the other, and I see three things wrong with this base that you probably wouldn't want to change all three of them, but maybe if you change one or two, maybe it defends a little better. And number one, it's a hound in the CC, and as you'll see in the attack, it really ends up helping him get his double. I'd like to see something different. Number two, the king and queen locations, keep everything right where he wants them to be. I would probably move one of them over to that builder hut near the sweeper at 130 and move the other one over, same place on the other side where that gold mine is next to the sweeper, so that it'll force things to spread out a little. And the third thing is, along the northeast wall and the southwest wall, he's got that space there. And I'm not really sure what the purpose is, but I would tighten that up and put a building or two over there so that somebody coming with that all-out attack from the southeast, at least some of their troops are going to get pulled outside and not go in. You've spent all your walls preventing wall breakers from being effective along the southeast wall, but you didn't do anything to stop the jump from making it really easy.
Right, and you could queen walk that first layer pretty easy too. I don't know if that would work on this base or not, but I just look at the AD placement and that pooched out wall, and it doesn't do a whole lot for you.
Yeah, I mean, if you started a queen walk at like 9 o'clock and worked it towards 6, you could take out all over there and then throw a golem at about 4 o'clock with bowlers and a rage. And
go in that corner.
You've got a pretty nice funnel, and then it's just a matter of once everything gets inside, can you direct it to the town hall? I mean, maybe people have been trying that against this guy and it's not working, and that's why he's got it set this way.
Yeah, I mean, they are ground expos. They're going to hit you for a while.
So anyway, Jake goes all out on this base and shows a very smart understanding of the ranges of his troops. You want to describe what he does, John?
Yeah, so normally I haven't been taking witches at all. I don't think that they do a whole lot at Town Hall 10 v Town Hall 11. So I've been going all bowlers, 3 golems, something like that, kind of staggering deployment with 2 jumps or whatever's needed. But Jake understands that those 2 cannons at 6 and 3, that wall, a bowler's not going to make it. Okay, your queen would make it, but a bowler's not. But it's just long enough for a witch to do, which was an incredible catch that I didn't catch. And they just do work on the corners. It's really, really cool.
All right, so you can watch down here at 3 o'clock. He goes golem, witches, bowlers. The golem takes all the fire. The witches spawn their skeletons and start taking out the cannon, and the bowlers come in following the golem and start taking out the high percentage stuff, bouncing it off those elixir storages and actually taking out archer towers.
So cannons down, and then your skeletons, everything is funneling in.
Everything's funneling in, and like I said, look, there isn't buildings along the outside. Some of the stuff starts to go that way, but there's so few buildings, they finish it off and then come back in.
Yeah, so I mean,
everything takes the jump, and oh no, his queen is stalled on the hound. Well, that's a good thing, because all his other troops are going to clear out that whole front. By the time she's done with the pups, there's nowhere for her to go except into the core.
Yeah, so all his bowlers die from an inferno, but you're at 58% right now. Who cares?
Right. Your queen doesn't have to do very much to get to town hall. She's going to pick one inferno or the other.
Inferno down.
Then the town hall, and then ability, and that's it.
Town hall down. Other inferno down.
Absolutely excellent attack. Huge reason why we ended up winning this war. Just a high percentage. Made it easy for our last few hits. We hit the easiest bases. We got our triples. And we put the score where it needed to be to get the win.
Yeah, and what a great knowledge by Jake of exactly how long which range is.
Right.
Very, very cool. So let me tell you a little bit about the Holy Cronut. We are a competitive war clan looking for Town Hall 9s, 10s, and 11s, proficient in 3-starring to go into next season of CWL. We want to apply to CWL Light right now. It kind of depends on breakdown, but that's where I think we feel comfortable as of now. We've done very well with Violent Wizards. We're organized. We have multiple Discord channels, one for war, one for just general shenanigans. And we really hope that you'll come and check out our clan. I think that the Holy Cronut, more than anything else, our chat is really, really active. More active than I've seen in any other clan. It makes things really fun. It makes you have a connection with everybody else. And we really like to win. So come see us.
Yeah, all right. So I think that'll do it for this recap. I want to thank John for joining me in this recap video. And after such a big win, I think there's really only one thing for me to say. I love it when a plan comes together.